Hi, my name is Kawena Charlot, and I'm the director of the Intuitive Path Academy and a psychic and a medium. And today's vlog is going to be talking about the 8 different ways that having energetic tools and intuitive abilities help when the world is in a state of flux. So, the first way that it really helps is learning how to manage your energetic space. So, we as human beings are incredibly psychic, we're incredibly intuitive. We have these seventh chakras that act as antennas. And everybody has this, by the way. This isn't just for a few people, this is everybody. Now, the degrees in which people feel and sense what's coming in is different for everybody. And people have different kind of abilities that are more, one person might be more telepathic or person might be more empathic. So those vary, but everybody has those abilities. And everyone picks up the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions, the sometimes even physical aspects of what's happening with the people around them. And when people in the community are afraid or worried or concerned or unhealthy, then what happens is the person that's intuitive will pick up all of that emotion and all of those aspects, the feelings, thoughts, emotions, pain sometimes with some people. And it's very hard for people to know what's theirs, what's other people's, what's theirs, what's other people's. So when you learn how to separate all of the other people's thoughts, emotions, feelings, and pain from your own energetic and physical sense, it's like a huge weight is lifted off of you. And all of a sudden, your life becomes much more manageable. So there's tools to do all of that. And that's the first thing that really, really, really helps when you are, when the world is in flux. So the first, managing your own energy field. Now, with that comes the second ability, which is to start becoming more autonomous in your own system, in your own thoughts, in your own emotional state, in your own energetic state. You start becoming more neutral and more autonomous, and you are able to kind of be in your own bubble of whatever your state is, with more ease, with being less influenced by the outside. So when you're less influenced, you're able to feel and create and do a whole bunch of other stuff that maybe other people are not able to do around you because they're not feeling autonomous. It's like they're all kind of working in kind of like a Borg like state, and you're able to step out of it because you are less in a state of fear, or you are at kind of a higher vibration. And that leads us to the third ability that really helps with psychic tools and energetic healing. Um, Basically, it's the ability to overcome triggers, to overcome whatever's going on in the world. So, what happens when you have a whole host of tools and abilities and psychic abilities is you're able to look at the world as a opportunity. So, whenever something comes in that upsets you, instead of it upsetting you, it becomes an opportunity to use your tools. So, you can get more neutral to it. You can complete your karma or your agreements, or you can kind of find the past moments or the past life moments or the genetic memory moments in your body, in your aura. You can find all of that, and it's an opportunity to release it. It's an opportunity to see if there's some programming there that you can let go of. It's just a whole host of opportunities. And so when you are able to use those tools and those psychic abilities to clear out all of that past stuff, it helps you be more in present time. And it helps you, the more you kind of overcome that stuff, it's like, it's like it puts you in a different state so that you can kind of look at your problems in a different way. So just like you as an adult looks at, like, if you dropped an ice cream cone, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You'd be like, whatever, I dropped my ice cream cone. But when you look at a 5-year-old who dropped their ice cream cone and they're crying, you're able to kind of laugh, think it's cute, think it's amusing, and probably go get them another ice cream cone. So it happens like that when you start clearing out all of this stuff. A lot of the things that you thought, oh, I'm really upset about that, or the triggers, the old triggers, they get lessened and lessened and lessened. They all get kind of pulled, we call it energy in pictures. And so the clearer all of that gets, the less you get triggered. And the clearer it gets, the more you're able to manage and handle your life with more ease, and handle with whatever is coming at you with more ease. So when you're overcoming your triggers like that, especially in a time of flux, so the benefit of a time of flux is it's like, and the benefit of learning how to manage all this in a time of flux is it's like working out on the moon. If you were working out on the moon, it would be really challenging and really hard, but then you'd come back to Earth and whoa, everything would be so easy. It would be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that all of this could be done with so much ease. Like it would just be phenomenal. So it's kind of like that when you're in a time of flux. Everything seems really intense and hard, but when you learn how to manage everything during that time, then all of a sudden, when things calm down, it's like, oh, this is so easy. This is amazing. So I've had numerous times in my life that it was like that, where it was really hard, really challenging. I worked through it with the psychic tools. And then thereon after, that stuff was easy because I learned how to manage it. Actually, that happened the year before COVID. So there was a whole bunch of psychic attack going on. There was a whole bunch of spirits. There was a whole bunch of kind of dark energy starting to kind of lift during that time. And it was pretty challenging because there was some tools that I needed to learn. There was just, needed to learn how to manage that with more ease. And once I figured it out, then all of a sudden, wham, I was able to hold space for like 50 people with so much more ease and grace, and just that 3 hour, that, I don't know, 3 hours. What took me 3 hours before could take me 2 minutes. What took me 6 months to learn and figure out was, once you learn it, you learn it. Then you can do it in 30 seconds. So it's sort of like that. Again, you're working out on the moon. So it's way more exciting when you can do this. So overcoming your triggers. Number 3. So number 5 is when you have intuitive abilities and clairvoyant abilities, you're able to read your life. You're able to clairvoyantly look at your life and look at the lives around you. So when you can start psychically reading what's happening, then you kind of have a heads up on what's going on. You can sort of see the forest through the trees. You can see better probabilities for yourself. You can give yourself a heads up on how to behave or what to do or what to prepare for and what to move on and what not to move on. So when things get chaotic, sometimes if somebody's in a state of fear, everything narrows down. Their awareness tends to narrow down, and they don't see opportunities. They don't see different tracks, different paths, different situations. Sometimes, people go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, right? And if you're operating from that state of fear and you don't need to be in that moment, then if your senses aren't narrowed down, you're able to see a much broader plethora of opportunities. And so you're going to behave and act and respond a little bit differently. So when you're so reading your own life clairvoyantly at any time, but particularly when things are a little chaotic around you, is hugely, hugely, hugely beneficial. And it also allows you to kind of prepare. So for example, when COVID first started, I told all my students, hey, go get this, go get that, go get food, go get toilet paper, go prepare this. This is going to last this long. Everybody said 2 weeks. I said, no, it's going to be a lot longer than that. Because I could read it, I could see it. And so everybody had all of that prepared. And well, not everybody. A couple of little rabble rousers thought I was making stuff up, and then they had to go stand in line for toilet paper like everybody else. But a number of them didn't do that. And because of that, that whole situation, that whole process was a lot smoother and easier for them than it was for a lot of other people, because they were prepared, because they were able to kind of assess the situation and respond in a way that was beneficial for them. So you can do that with business. You can do that with your romances. You can do that with your love life. And every everybody, your health, everybody has the ability to intuitively pick stuff up. We all do. But the challenge in the benefit of learning how to use tools in order to get there is that it's in a way you're clearing your filter. So it's very hard to see through fear. It's very hard to see when we have what we call matching pictures and energy with other people. But when you're able to clear all of that and it's like clear your filter, then it's like looking through a glass, like just a plain, clean glass window and seeing what's on the other side. When that filter is all dirty from our own fears, our own past situations, our own past like karma and a whole host of things, then it's like trying to see what's in the future through a very dirty, dusty, kind of moldy, mossy mirror. And you're like, I think I see something on their side. And it might just be a little tiny thing of what's really going on. Whereas the clearer and clearer and clearer that filter gets, the more, with more ease, you can see what's coming. So being able to clairvoyantly read is one of the major benefits of learning how to expand your psychic tools. Another one is physical health. So when you are able to stay more in present time, when a person is able to be at a higher vibration, when they are not in a constant state of stress or fear, or when they're not picking up the energy and particularly the physical, very intuitive people, particularly empathic people, can pick up physical energy, physical illness from other people. It's not like they get really ill, but it's almost like they're so intuitive, they can pick up the aches and pains of other people. This used to happen to me all the time before I had tools. I would get a blinding headache when I was around certain people. And the second I would leave them, I would be, I would be fine. Or I would get really nauseous to my, stomach around certain things. And then once I started learning how to run my energy and clear my space, then I started realizing, holy crap, I've been picking up so many other people's feelings. I remember my dad got really sick at one point and he hurt his leg. And I remember kind of limping for about 2 weeks. This was when I was at the very beginning of my training. And I remember my teacher saying, picking up your dad's energy. And I didn't know what he was talking about because I wasn't yet fluent in this language of energy. But when I learned how to release my father's energy out of my space, all of a sudden, all that pain in my hip and my leg disappeared. So I've had that happen in my life and many of my students on multiple occasions where you're picking up the energy of other people and then you release it and you're fine. So that's one portion of the health and the health benefits with intuitive and energetic abilities. But the other is also kind of clearing your mind, clearing your state, and very less frequently being in that state of fear and fight and flight. So when you're in that state, your body gears up for running long distances, for doing all sorts of things. And you're meant to be in that state. If a bear is chasing you, if something's coming after you, if it's really a bad thing, right then, right there, then you want your body to get geared up like that and respond. But you don't want your body to stay in that state permanently. And the way society is set up is there's a lot of fear mongering going on, right? So the more people are in a state of fear, the less options they have in their minds, right? Fear, it narrows your vision, and it's meant to do that because if a bear pops up behind you, you're like, this is the best way to run away from the bear, right? So, but if it's always a state of fear, that whatever it may be, the news, the culture, that people around you, if they're always pushing this fear, 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 and it's not something that's affecting you right then, right there in that state, then what's happening is your body is constantly in these elevated states and it more easily breaks down. So it's very unhealthy, where if you learn how to manage all of that, then it's more easy to get healthy. Also, when you learn how to manage your energetic tools, you can then do more manifesting around health. You can clear out various karmic past life intuitive aspects of what can be affecting your health. And then all of a sudden, I've seen people do huge, amazing turnarounds in their health because of their psychic tools. I've seen people get rid of cancer. I've seen people with burns. I remember this woman who had she'd gotten bit by a hobo spider, and she had so many burns all over her. I mean, they looked like burns, but it wasn't really. It was almost like a karmic recall of another lifetime where she'd gotten some burning oil lifted off of her. So I cleared off that past life, fear and karma and what's the right word? Just that past life energy of that. And she'd seen dermatologists for years, nothing had happened. But as soon as I cleared off that energy, all of a sudden her whole skin started clearing up. And so there's a lot of health conditions that can be really helped and shifted when people start using intuitive and psychic tools. And then the last thing, well, two more things. So another thing that really helps with intuitive tools during during times like this is connecting to the divine, supreme being, God, Jesus, whatever word you want to use. When you start connecting to the divine and when you really develop a communication and start understanding the laws of the universe and energy, and you get more of an idea about how this sort of amazing tapestry of karma and agreements starts interweaving in your life and everybody's life around you, when that starts becoming clearer for you and that relationship becomes more connected, then you're able to let go of a lot of what's troubling you. You're able to be more often in a state of joy. You feel like you have more of a support system. You feel like you have a partner in crime, per se. You just have something there that's always kind of watching your back and helping guide you and helping navigate you. And that becomes a very, very, very powerful thing. Also, it ends up giving you, again, a different perspective. Much of what people are worried and concerned about is in the issue of framing. So, how you look at a situation changes dramatically how you respond, how you act, how you feel around that topic. So, when you start understanding uh, the sort of energetic spiritual laws of the universe, then you start looking at things from a different way. You look at things as again, more of an opportunity. So I'll give you an example. I had a woman call recently, and her child is in uterus, and there is a little, not a big thing, but just a little thing going on with baby. It was going to be able to be fine once there was going to be some medical procedures after it was born. And when I looked karmically at the child, I saw that he had chosen that mother specifically so that he could help overcome that. So he wanted a mother that would not freak out, that would not, put a lot of energy on him, that would allow him and help foster and help heal him to take a karmic step with that physical situation that he had been, as a soul, had been carrying through certain lifetimes, right? So sometimes what happens is, if a person, say, lost an arm or a leg or their sight or something like that in a big sort of tragedy in a different lifetime, sometimes they bring the energy of that into this lifetime. So I've seen people, like, they start clearing their energy, and they're all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, I could feel my arm in a different way I never could before. And you'll read it and you'll be like, oh, they have lost their arm in another life. So a part of their soul was still just not used to having that arm. And so they clear that past, and all of a sudden they are a lot more agile. They have a lot more energy. They're in their body a lot more. They have more fluidity. And so that's the small elements of that, but there's bigger elements of that. So there's many, many, many different levels of physical, emotional, energetic health that can be promoted through intuitive and psychic tools. And then the last one is creating. When you are learning how to be at a higher vibration, when you're learning how to release and get neutral all these other people's energy, when you're learning how these laws of the universe, it's a lot easier to start creating more of what you want. It's not like you can change everybody, they're doing their own thing, but because you can more easily manage all of that, it allows you to be kind of a magnet. So when people are in a state of want, when people are in a state of need, when people are in a state of fear, it's almost like the opposite of a magnet. They kind of push stuff away that what they want. But when they're able to vibrate it already having that information, and when they're already able to really step into the energy, step into the quote havingness, that's a word we use in the meditation class, when they're able to really be that thing that they're trying to create, when they can step into that energy more easily, then all of a sudden it's a lot easier for them to magnetize that to them. It's a lot easier for them to take physical steps in order to reach that goal. It's a lot easier for them to create. And I have seen so many, so many, so many miracles in the school over and over and over again. People are creating things that they never thought that they could create. And people are creating things they never thought that they could create in this time period. It's so interesting because all around me, people have been like, oh no, I can't get a job, or I can't get this, or I can't get that, or everything around me is stopping me from creating this thing. And then I have all of these amazing students that are like, ooh, I just got this better job, or ooh, I got an even better job, or ooh, I up leveled, or oh, I found the love of my life. And it's all during a period where people are saying it can't happen, but it obviously is happening because I see it happening all around me with people that have learned how to manage their space and use these tools to their abilities. So that, my darlings, is 8 different ways that intuitive and psychic tools can help you in